You think you're doing two things at once. You're not, you're doing them worse, one after the other, paying a tax every time you switch. The advice you've heard 100 times is to get better at multitasking. Build the skill. Train your focus to juggle the inbox, the meeting, the second monitor. But that advice is backwards, because the human brain doesn't actually run two demanding tasks in parallel. It rapidly toggles between them, and every toggle costs you. Trying to get good at multitasking is like trying to get good at holding your breath while you sprint. The problem isn't your technique. The problem is the thing you're being told to optimize. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. There's a 2005 study from the University of London, run with Hewlett-Packard, that measured what happens when people try to manage a flow of information while interrupted by emails and phone calls. Their measured IQ during the task dropped by an average of 10 points. 10. To put that in context, that's more than double the temporary dip the same researchers found in people who had smoked cannabis. You read that right, checking your phone mid-task knocked more points off in-the-moment performance than being mildly stoned. Not because you got dumber as a person. Because a brain that's constantly reorienting has almost nothing left over for actual thinking. The mechanism behind that is something psychologists call switch cost, and it's sneakier than it sounds. When you jump from writing a report to answering a Slack message, your brain doesn't teleport. It has to drop the rules for one task and load the rules for the other, and that reconfiguration takes a beat. Researcher David Meyer found these switches can eat up to 40% of your productive time. The cruel part is the residue. When you go back to the report, a piece of your attention is still stuck on the Slack message, a phenomenon called attention residue. So you're never fully on either thing. You're a browser with too many tabs, and each one is loading at half speed. The third piece is the part almost nobody feels happening. Multitasking quietly trains you to crave the switch itself. Every time you flick to a new notification, you get a tiny hit of dopamine, a little reward for novelty. Do that a few hundred times a day and your brain starts treating sustained focus as uncomfortable, almost itchy. A Stanford study led by Clifford Nass found that the people who multitasked the most were, paradoxically, the worst at filtering out irrelevant information. The heavy multitaskers couldn't ignore the noise. They'd trained themselves to chase it. So the more you practice juggling, the worse you get at the one thing that actually makes you feel sharp, staying put. So here's what to do this week, and it's smaller than you'd expect. Pick one task that genuinely matters tomorrow morning. Before you start, put your phone in another room, not face down on the desk, another room, because research on mere presence shows that a visible phone drains attention even when it's silent and untouched. Then set a timer for 25 minutes and give that single task everything, no tap switching, no quick checks. When the timer ends, take a real break. The goal isn't to white-knuckle your way through 8 hours. It's to feel, just once, what your actual undistracted brain can do, because most people have genuinely forgotten. That contrast is the whole point. Once you feel the difference, the switching starts to feel like what it is. You were never bad at focusing. You were just never given a quiet room to do it in. Tomorrow, build yourself one, and notice how much was waiting on the other side of the noise.